Welcome back to Tilted Knot Woodworks for part 2 of the cabinet build for our living room. The first part was getting everything cut out, getting the dados cut, getting the base cabinet put together, and getting the dry assembly done to make sure that everything is going to look the way I wanted it to, and just get everything ready to go. This part is adding on the auxiliary shelf that is going to be used for DVDs, CDs, other smaller items, and also getting this finished and getting it installed in the living room. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw in the first one, and hopefully this half of it is going to be entertaining and be able to give you some ideas of what you can do and just show the process that I went through on putting this together. I did stretch myself quite a bit, like I mentioned in the first video, but it was a lot of fun, and I really liked the way everything turned out in the end, and you'll see the end result as well. But let's continue on with the video, and hopefully you enjoy what you see. Thank you. Now I'm working on the auxiliary shelf that will attach to the side for the CDs, small items, that kind of thing. Alright, final assembly is done. I still have a little bit of work to do on the side shelf. However, at this point, I realized I had deviated from my plans, and that top portion was not supposed to be there. So now I have to do some thinking and decide if I'm just going to let it be as it is, or if I'm going to cut a new side and get that corrected. Everything has been sanded down to 240 and getting ready to apply the stain and the dye for the base cabinet. I used the Kona color for the stain on this part of the cabinet. After letting it dry for a little bit, getting a final wipe down, I can set these aside and let it dry and start working on the base of the cabinet. The base cabinet I wanted to have black, and I didn't like the stain that we have right now. It just, the color isn't quite right. And the last time I used it, I wasn't able to get as even of a coating as I wanted. So on this, I'm using India ink to dye the wood and see what kind of result we end up with. Now, if you're going to do this, do be aware that this is going to raise the grain much like you would with a water pop. So you need to plan on being able to sand it if you want to have a nice smooth finish. And depending on the end look that you want, you're probably going to be looking at 2 or 3 additional coats. But it did do a very good job of staining the wood, and I'm very happy with the end result. I don't think this is in every project use or dye product, but for certain projects, I think it's definitely one I'm going to use again in the future. And here I'm sanding with a 240 just to get the grain back down, get it smoothed out, and see how light or how dark of a finish I want on this. And this is the end result after 1 coat and 1 sanding. So I decided to add a 2nd coat just to darken it up a little bit. And then I'm going to go back and sand it 1 more time at 240 just to help even out the color and wash out the black just a little bit, give it just a little bit of a distressed look. I'm making a very light pass with a sander just to lighten up the black just a little bit. And now start adding glue and get this whole thing put together. As you can see, I need to find ways to be able to clamp everything together and hold it together so I can be able to do this by myself. When you're doing stuff like this by yourself, you sometimes have to use additional aids or find a way to cheat with keeping everything lined up in place and solid so it doesn't come apart in the middle of your glue up. And with the final shelf put in place, making sure that it's aligned, getting the clamps put on it just to hold everything together while the glue dries. I can go ahead and let things set. I'm going to add a few more clamps to it just to keep everything stable and together while the glue dries. And then we'll start working on the rest of the finishing. I ended up redoing the auxiliary shelf. I just wasn't happy with how it looked, and I wanted to go with the original plan where the top held everything together, and that spacer is giving me the alignment that I need for the top. Each of the dividers and the end caps for the cabinet have had the tops drilled out to accommodate a dowel that'll be used to attach the top. And here with the dowel centers in place, just giving a little bit of a tap, and I know exactly where to drill to accommodate the dowels that are being put in. And I found by using some scrap wood and attaching it to where I wanted the top to line up, I didn't have to worry about not having that top aligned and getting it perfectly in place when I marked it for the dowel centers. After applying some glue, getting the dowels put in place, now it's time to get the tops attached and start getting it ready to finish. I'll be putting a few clamps on just to be able to make sure everything is nice and tight and give that glue a chance to really set and bind everything together. And here we go with it finished. I did use the Black Forest Furniture Oil for the top coat, just to finish it off and give it some more protection. Alright, as luck would have it, it's raining, so I don't have as much sunlight as I would like to have, but hopefully the lights that I have in the living room are going to be sufficient to show the end result of the cabinet. And I'm extremely happy with it. It looks significantly better than the old one. And as you can see, everything is set just right to be able to accommodate our needs, and I don't see me having to change this anytime soon, so it should be pretty adequate. And it turned out exactly as I wanted, and it's something I'm very happy with. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that I provided some entertainment and some value to what you just saw, and hopefully you came up with some ideas of what you can do yourself. If you feel that I've provided some value and entertainment and you would like to support me, please click on the link below for my Patreon page, and I would appreciate it if you would like and share the video so that I can be able to reach more people and get my subscriber base up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's quick and easy. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to leave a comment, that'd be great. I'd like to get some feedback on what you guys like, what is working, what isn't, just some pointers on what I might be able to do differently that would bring more value and help with better quality videos. But again, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.